Alrighty. So a lot of you guys have asked about my strategy. So before you guys want to get any sessions or anything like that, I figured I'd just go over it and so you guys know what it's like. This is all from this morning, so I'll just delete this and we'll start fresh. Let me go back. How do I do this? Yes. Replay. Let's go. Usually I make my charting. I think I made my charting this morning around 8:45. So when I woke up, this is exactly what I saw. To find these, I have a screener set up, and again, we can go through this if you guys get the sessions. But I usually pick the top three gainers in the morning. NLSP was 100%, ENTX was 53%, and NIX was 30%. I planned out all three of these and made a trade on three of them, but we're gonna go over ENTX because it was kind of more textbook. So I think I woke up at 8:45 and started mapping out my trade. This gap up right here was the pre-market gainer, and that's why it showed on the screener that it was up so much. This is super important. This is literally my whole trading strategy right here. So when I wake up, first I'll start drawing out my resistance lines right here. That is the close of that candle, of these couple candles, that first pre-market gap. Second resistance line is the other high of the pre-market. So that is 7 and 725. Next, I will find my supports. We're going to go, first support is obviously right there. That's where it bounced and came back up. So that is 591. Your second support right here is the bottom of this wick. This is around 560. Came down here, bounced, came down here, bounced. That's obvious support. This specific play gapped up in the after hours and then continued in pre-market. So if you look in the after hours, you'll see this range, these two support ranges. It kind of just literally traded in between that right before close. So that's pretty key. That's a key indicator right there that these are your support ranges. So I'll make this green for support. So this is all on the 1 minute chart as well. So now I will go to the daily chart and I will show you guys how crazy drawing the support and resistance lines are, how much it maps out to daily chart. So this is 3 years ago. Bottom support, the 560 support. Look at that support, resistance, resistance, consolidation, consolidation. I mean, look at that. For 3 years ago, I traded on these two lines, which is crazy. So that's how you know right there that you have a pretty solid support with when it's continuation of doing that. Obviously, it's down here. Obviously, it broke that, but when it does regain that, all these numbers or all these lines and numbers all retrace back to each other. Obviously, right here, this is our first resistance. This is our first gap up at $7 range. Look at that, perfect resistance 3 years ago. So it's kind of crazy how it all comes back into play, but super important to go back on your daily chart. I mean, look at here. This is our second high of the pre-morning gap. That was the close of that candle 3 years ago. I mean, it's super important to go back to your daily chart just for confirmation for your 1 minute charts. Okay, so that's basically it for mapping it out. Obviously, if you guys do one-on-one sessions with me, obviously I'm going to do it a lot more in detailed. I just kind of want to give you guys a basic overview. So that is drawing out the lines. This is your MACD, this is your RSI, this is your Bollinger Bands, this is your low Bollinger Band, your middle Bollinger Band, and your high Bollinger Band. And these are basically just trading all within a channel. And then this orange line is your VWAP. All of you guys that have asked, like how to get started, I literally tell you to look up all these indicators and find support and resistance, which is exactly what I use and exactly what I do. So next, I will play it out. And I think at 9 o'clock is when I mapped out my exact trade. So we'll run this to 9 o'clock. And then I'll pause it. And then I'll show you what I saw. All right, we'll pause it right here. All right. So obviously, we know that this first support line right here would be a really good entry because obviously it's held support and you want it to bounce up right off that support level. Honestly, I mean, if you did trade in the morning, you could literally just trade off of these ranges. Support range, resistance range, sell it. Back down, support range, came up here, don't be greedy, sell it. That kind of stuff. Obviously, I don't trade in the pre-market because, I mean, why would stupid too? I mean, I don't really need to. Just because I like trading as soon as the market opens. So my first entry, if it hold, the keyword if it holds would be 590. So I wrote that down in my notebook. 590. First take profit, $7. And we know that because came up here, resistance, up here, resistance. So that's gonna be your first take profit. Stop loss. I think I did. Let's see, what did I write? 515 was my stop loss. That was let's see, where's the 515 range? No way, it was 515. Yeah, it was 515. Okay. Oh, that's why, right there. The 520 was this bottom of this candle. That's kind of a straw. That's kind of a pretty far stop loss, to be honest with you. I probably could have raised that up because to minimize a lot more gains. But this was the bottom of that candle. So that's why I had that as my stop loss. I probably could have raised that up because that would have been a pretty good loss. So that is my trade that I planned at around 9 o'clock. I didn't place any orders yet, so I like to wait till the market to place the order. So we're gonna run it till 9:30, and keep in mind that so my first entry is this range right here, but if that doesn't hold, then your second entry is gonna be your second support line, which was that 560 range. All right, market opened, and don't even look at all this gap up. So market opened. First thing you want to do is find your entry. Came down here, it literally retraced that perfectly, exactly what we wanted to, but it didn't hold. So obviously your entry is not going to be here. If you can get a better entry, 60 cents lower. So then that's exactly what happened. So I didn't place my entry at there because it came down here, retraced it, couldn't hold, broke. Came back down here, I placed my entry at 560. Literally 560. And I think, yeah, the low was, let me draw this out for you. Right there. Fuck, hold on. This was the low right here. 559. So my entry was literally a cent. I placed my entry at 560 and my entry was literally a cent lower. It's absolutely nuts. It's awesome. So it came down here, retraced that lower resistance, that lower support, and like I said, learn your indicators. MACD. Your MACD, when this blue line crosses this orange line, it means that there's an insane amount of volume. So right here, it crosses, and that's when you see this first ginormous big blue candle. And it absolutely crushed our first take profit area. First take profit range. I had an order set already, so once I placed my 560 order, then I placed my first take profit order at 7. So I think I sold 25% shares at 7. It absolutely crushed this before I could even place my second. So then I think I took my next take profit was right here at 783, and then my second take profit was, my third take profit was 880. Obviously, I missed out on, a few dollars, $2 or $1 something right here. But I mean, you can't be too greedy. That's lost me a lot of money being too greedy when it comes to that. So just make sure you're always scaling out. Scaling out means, so it's 25% shares of your first take profit, 25% shares of your second take profit, and the rest of your third. Obviously, I thought it was only going to 725. So who the hell would have known? So you'd be stupid to not sell some at $7 when that's all we expected it was going to reach, $7 or $7.25. So always scale out, super important. We can just play it out just for the hell of it. Obviously, it's not going to hold. It's an all-time high. You'd be crazy to think it's going to hold. And it's crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard, but your old resistance turns into your new support. So I'll let that play out and I'll pause it right there. Look at that. These two pink lines were our old resistant lines. And now they turn into our new support. Right here. Support, 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 support. I think it even goes out even further. Support, support. I mean, it's support. It's crazy how all that comes together and works. So that's basically it. I woke up at 8:45, mapped it out, placed my trade, or planned out my trade at 9 o'clock, placed it at market open. What's that? 30 minutes? 30 minutes in a $4 grand trade? 60%? I mean, come on, man. Absolutely killed it. That's basically it. Obviously, like I said, if you do one-on-one sessions, we can go over more indicators, and I can go over my screeners, and I can go over my support resistance lines way more in depth. I just kind of want to give you guys a little overview and basics of my strategy. That's it.